So, once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Once again, wherever this presentation may be catching you, or wherever you may be catching this presentation. So, yesterday I had a Zoom call planned up. The idea was to further investigate the state of compressed earthquake technology in Nigeria in line with our theme, the theme or the mission statement of this channel podcast. The idea was to have a number of experts, a number of enthusiasts, um, one or two others. Unfortunately, only one person showed up, but fortunately, also he was or is a compressed earthquake um, expert with years and years and years of very, very, very practical, applicable experience. So, like I said, unfortunately, only one person showed up. But already, from the discussion we had, it was a bit one-sided, one track because it was just one person. You would need to have at least one or two to, spice up the conversation, so to say. But I think we have something here. We have something here. Um, we're in agreement that, he was categorical, Engineer Robert. He was categorical that compressed earthquake technology in Nigeria has failed. And then what happened? As I replanned, rescheduling and everything, um, more people came to mind. Yeah, unfortunately, we did not have the one of the main participants in the would have been discussion. He was the former head of the Center for Earth Construction Technology. This guy is very, very experienced in terms of um, compared to big technology. But then yesterday, incidentally, when I sat down, I was, re-strategizing. Um, the names of two people came up. I'm not going to mention them now because I hope to have them eventually up on the discussion. But there was a worker or a deputy who was deputizing someone in the social housing field, and they have a very very stellar track record. But there was something he said. I told him I was going to call him. I was hoping that we could talk about compressed earthquake technology. And somehow I saw this, reluctance. I well not saw because we were chatting. I sensed some kind of reluctance. So when I pushed further, he was categorical again. I use that word categorical again. He was categorical. We have since stopped using that technology, and it was it was really an inflective moment. I didn't ask him why. All I just said was, he said, we will not be useful to you in this discussion. I said, no, you'll be very useful to us in this conversation. At one point, they were championing the use of this, something that um, Engineer Robert mentioned because he worked with them and they built some housing units. I've been trying to see if I could get visuals or documentation of the work they did. Engineer Robert was able to mention one or two, but it wasn't really um, the information I got wasn't definitive. So, but I believe strongly there is a point there. So I'm going to reschedule. I'm going to reschedule, but I think this conversation needs to be had. Like I said, without mentioning names, but I feel at a certain point, some people who are involved in this, the CEB, compressed earth big technology, experiment or project in Nigeria, and probably may have signed off. You know, they may have signed off that, oh, the program is a success. It was pushed through, and we've done what we needed to do, and it's a success. It's true. It's stamped. Okay, so I don't really think they will be very happy to hear about this. But truth be said, this is what I have discovered, given my few years of experience and talking to the father, quote, of compressor big technology in Nigeria, and I think his immediate successor. These are things we see on the ground. These are things we see on the ground. So the one of the threads in this is, I think I mentioned it in a previous presentation. Government, Nigerian government is one of the biggest participants in the building and construction industry. Just imagine if they would say, okay, for this mega billion-dollar project, we um, say that we promulgate, we set it as a rule or a law that this percentage of compressed air brick material, compressed air brick technology, or in fact any other earthen technology, be used. I think, I think would have crossed some kind of Rubicon at that point. Now let me just say this: I'm presently in East Africa, Rwanda to be exact, and my first time of coming to East Africa, I was shocked. Shocked by what? Shocked by the level and amount and use of bricks. Unfortunately, it's not compressed earth bricks, and you can have it all the time. But bricks, fired bricks, locally fired bricks. I mean, humongous quantities. I've seen cathedrals. I've seen, it's just mind blowing. Built with fired bricks. I don't have the sizes here. I'm not very good with keeping the sizes in my mind, but you know, bricks, fired bricks. We had that thing going on in Benue, um, somewhere in central Nigeria. I was able to talk to a friend. I think yes, I'll have to get him also. He was involved in the project. Unfortunately, what happened was, as much as it was an addition to the plethora of building or construction materials being made available, but unfortunately, the production process was too bad, too bad, too bad. Deforestation, degradation of the landscape. So he told me that was a problem. They have been working on it, and it was a problem. So I think, yeah, this thing it's beginning to get shape, beginning to get shape. So I'm hoping to get in touch with additional people. These are people who are directly involved with the um, compressed brick technology thing in Nigeria. So hopefully we should kick it off. And then I'm about to add another layer to it. I started this project with my diploma students when I was back in Nigeria teaching in the Department of Architectural Technology. Basically, we teach them the rudiments of being an architectural technician. But then we added there were other courses in the syllabus to help them appreciate architecture as a whole, design, a little bit of the traditional architecture stuff, which I was very happy and very privileged to take. And so shortly before I left Nigeria, I was able to incorporate some practical aspects into it, where the students would go out and play with mud, make bricks, and it was exciting. It was exciting. I've tried this here in my present institution here in East Africa, and what word do I want to use now? The reception has been very, very positive, and I see something there. Students feel cooped up, sitting in class for 55 hours, through a module, and so they want to let off the steam. And what better way to let off steam than to have them play with mud and make bricks, in a very serious way, because I assess it. I actually assess it. I give them opportunities to. I think I'll talk about that. Maybe do a presentation about that also. I think it's quite apt. It's quite something that we should look at. So I think I've talked enough for today. Yeah, my coffee is running out. So what will happen is I'm going to prepare additional material, and then hopefully, see how I can get um, these very, very important individuals onto um, call format, where we can discuss this issue of the states of compressed earthquake in Nigeria. So thank you very much for listening, for watching. See you around very soon. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.